jump on to my phone so I can tag some people. Welcome to free Akashic records reading. Told it's going to be live in the group and then in here. Okay, oh yay, I can see the comments in here. Let's see, I'm going to jump on to here as well. Let me know when you're jumping on live. Oh, there I am. Okay, awesome. Let me see how to, if I can tag some people. Joan. Hi, Patty. I'm not sure about tagging people. All right, give me a minute here. I'm gonna see if I can tag people. Tag people. Okay. All right, let's try this. There we go. Joan, Bay, Megan, who else? Hi. Oh, more people jumping on. Hi, guys. I will be with you in a moment. I'm just tagging a couple of people that asked me. Sandra, Crystal. They could already be on. Hi, Mary. Okay. Got it. Oh, learning some new stuff here. All right. Let me go back here. Whoops. Okay. Huh. All right. I can't see me. There I am. All right. Awesome. So welcome. I'm super excited to be here today and to do this Akashic Records live reading for you all. I'm going to do the best to get to as many people as possible. So first of all, I've been having so many people have been coming into this group from all over the place. I'm in Massachusetts, and I'd love to know where you are from. I know I have people in this group from Australia. I think as far as last year, I remember somebody signed up for a session with me 2 years ago, actually, at like 1:30 in the afternoon, and I looked up and they were from Australia, and their session was going to be at 3:30 in the morning, and they were going to get up, and I actually missed the session because I thought they messed up, and they actually had gotten up at 3:30 in the morning, so I didn't make it up to them. But where there's a will, there's a way, right? If there's something that you've really, really wanted really bad, right? You always find a way. That's my experience. And if we don't get something that we think we wanted, we really just didn't want it that much. And it's as simple as that. So some people here know about the Akashic Records. Some people here know me. Some people never met me until this moment. And some people know not really hardly anything about the Akashic Records. So one thing about the Akashic Records, right? Sometimes, like when you see a post about it, it might look like a giant library in a picture or something, and that's just to give our human mind like a little construct to consider it, but it's not something that's really out there. What the Akashic Records are is like every thought, word, deed, action that you have in your particular energy field, or your it's in your field from the moment your first inception as a human being. So, in an Akashic Records reading, right, we that up, and everybody can really feel energy to a degree. Like you can tell when you walk into a room, or you can tell like when you meet somebody, maybe somebody for the first time, and there's a connection, and there's like, oh, there's like this knowingness, right? So we all have the ability to pick up information from other people, and when I do an Akashic Records reading, it's kind of like only I've trained and been working on it. I actually did. Somebody asked me, sometimes when people are learning something new, right, they'll offer a bunch of free sessions. I've done that before when I was learning it, but I trained for Akashic in 2016, and I did advanced in 2018. I use it all the time for myself, for my clients, and but I just felt really called to come on in and share it with with you all today. So just, one more thing. Later on, if you may, I don't know if you can stay on, if you have to hop off, but I'm going to mention for people that want to go a little deeper and have a session for yourself to really dive deeper into something that's going on. I don't do it too often. I usually just do one-on-one and group sessions, but I am going to be sharing a little bit how you can do work one-on-one, do a one-off session with me. So I will share that later on. And just one thing I learned from my teacher was the power of asking really good questions, right? If you want to get really good answers, you want to ask really good questions. And I don't say that to stress you out, it's just to think about it, right? If you come in and you say, what's my life purpose? That's like a really broad thing, and if you narrow it down a little bit more, I will be able to pick up on the energy of what specifically you're kind of asking about, what area. So hopefully that's helpful. And so let's see, who is in here? Patty, Rosemary, Brittany, Kristen, Chris, and Marcus. Hi Marcus. Mary, Shirley. Let's see, who else? Might need my glasses. Caitlin, hi Caitlin, Joni, Christy, hi Faith. Oh, I didn't think you were going to make it, Faith, and you hopped on. Tanya, Kristen, let's see, Mimi, Tracy, Tanya, hopefully I got everybody. Mandy, Christy, Rosemary, hi Leah, Lily, Shirley. Wow, so awesome. Okay, so, and the other thing, we have a lot of new people in here. If I screw up your name, I'm sorry. I have a name people screw up a lot, and I don't care, but I like to, if I know how to say people's name, my name is NancyAnger, and I know it looks like anger. People that have known me 20 years will say NancyAnger, right? So I don't care. All right, so I already am getting question. All right, so let me tune in now. So you can start to let's drop down into the Akashic records is through the heart. So drop into your heart for a moment. And just know that what comes through, if something resonates with you that I'm answering for someone else, that's going to also, there's something there for you as well. And it happens not just through my words, it happens energetically. All right, so drop down into your heart. Good, and let's see. Okay, cool. So, Kyrie says, I'd like to ask about moving my things in storage back home. If my brother will help. Ooh. Yes, hi Shirley. Okay. How will I retrieve? By moving my things in storage back home. I'm not sure I'm quite getting it. Let's see. About asking, moving my things in storage back home. If my brother will help, how will I retrieve? Yeah, I'm not sure what you're exactly asking. So if we aren't clear in the question we're asking, you might know, but your words are a little difficult to understand. So are you asking if your brother will help and moving? Yeah, if you can just be a little more clear, that would help. Okay, so Marcus, what direction should I bring my healing modalities to? Okay, so the first thing I'm getting actually is what would you like to bring them to? Like, is there something really, I feel like there's something there that you're wanting to do. I feel like you know the answer to this already. Yeah, there's something that you really, I feel like you already know the answer to this. That maybe it's something that's stretching out further than you've done before, or a little bit newer direction. And it feels like there's a decision for you to make, but it's also, they're saying to be playful about it, because there's never a right or wrong answer. And the best way to know is what feels really fun and good for you in the moment, even if it's out of your comfort zone a little bit or a lot sometimes. Like, what do you really want to do? And I'm getting this sense of vibration. What I'm feeling is like there's this sense of like excitement. It's like your little kid, your inner child is in there, like, oh yeah, there's like, I really would, if I did this thing, it would be so exciting. And you might not exactly know that, you might not be totally tuned into that in this very moment, but it is there. And I'm hearing, if you give yourself a little time and space, and don't worry, like, it feels like you might be going up into your head a little bit looking for information. And that's where, right, that's the human thing, like #human. We sometimes will go up in our head, and that's when we get really confused, because the answer is never here, right? It might come through as inspiration, but then things like step away from it, and I feel like it's down here. That was helpful. All right, what's the highest easeful action I can take to attract my next ideal client to serve with my gifts? So that's a great question too, right? And so as I said, sometimes the answers that come through are going to be for more people here than just the person that's just Chris. What's the next easeful action? And I like that. She said easeful. All right, so what I'm hearing is, like, what do you love to do? So what do you love to do? It feels like it will just come through you sharing, like you're having a conversation with a friend, and it's going to be just noticing. So this, I'm seeing almost like you have antennas up and just paying attention. Like, think about the things that you really love, first of all. What are the things that you love? Maybe you even write a list. I love helping people with this. I love that. I am so grateful that I know how to do this, that I can help people with this. And as you do that, that's going to plug you in more, even more, with the gifts that you have, with the things that you love. And then you're going to notice when someone is going to be looking for something. And I feel like it might be on Facebook or somewhere, social media. It could be in just some kind of a conversation with somebody. And you're going to be like, I can help you with that. That's the clue right there. Oh, I can help you with that, because you know them with that. Let me know if that makes sense. So, I'd like to ask about my relationship with my current partner. Okay, so what is your current partner? It's good that you're being specific about the relationship, but go, stay or go, that kind of stuff. But Tracy, if you can give me a little more information, that will be helpful. Okay. Mass. Hi, Laura. Oh, you're from Mass too. Okay. Amy says, my question is, the relationship with my older brother is going to get better. Okay. We aren't speaking at the moment. Haven't for 6 months. Working on myself, doing shadow work, so I know I have to do my part. Yes. Okay. Yes, your relationship with your brother will get better, but it starts with you. Part of it is your perspective, your perception. So when there's a conflict or a challenge in a relationship, part of it also has to do with our perspective on that person. Like, sometimes we can have a situation with a person that we have a certain perspective, and as we look at them or that relationship, we see it in a negative light. But then something shifts, or a new piece of information comes, or maybe we have a conversation, and then suddenly we see it in a new light, and things have shifted. So I suggest part of what's coming through is to sit down and write or remember the things that you love about your brother. Memories of things that you love about him. Let's see what else. Yeah, memories of things that you love about him. Yeah, So I feel like it will get better, but it's looking at the things that you love, the good things in that relationship, and then really holding them in your heart. And then you can close your eyes and imagine a conversation between you and your brother. So I do this a lot, and I help my clients with this a lot as well. It's like you have a soul-to-soul connection, and you imagine that you're having a conversation. And it's really helpful if you can do it with someone that's passed on, someone that you can't or don't want to communicate with exactly right now, that it's not, timing isn't right or whatever, there's something there. You can have a pre-conversation. So imagine that you are having a conversation and that you're listening to what he has to say. And even though it might feel like you're imagining it, there's something to it, right? Because you are perceiving what he might say, and then you're speaking. So it's like it shifts the energy in it. Like when you have this conversation in your mind's eye, and then think about, what do you want? What do you want this relationship with your brother to be like? Sometimes when we're focused on what's not happening in any area of our life, when we forget, we don't think about the next step, like, what do I want? So sit down and also think about, what do you really want with your relationship with your brother? So let me know if that helps. Okay, Tanya says, I want to ask about getting a direction about buying a new house and being successful in my business. Going on in there. Let me see. And usually things are tied in. I always say how we do one thing is how we. So it feels like. So part of it is, I think, focusing on one thing at a time. Do you want to get a new house next, or do you want to get a new house yet, or about getting a direction about buying a new house and being successful in my business? Well, a little bit like what I just said to Amy. First of all, what do you want? Because the more clear you are about what you want, the easier it is to get what you want. I have this little analogy that comes up a lot that's come up recently when I think about, like, when we know what we don't want, but we don't ever say what we do want. It's like going to the window at the ice cream store and you're saying, well, I don't want chocolate. I definitely don't want vanilla. I don't want a sundae. It's like the person doesn't know what to give you. And it's the same with the universe. And sometimes if something isn't coming to us, like the house yet, you're just, some part of you isn't clear yet, because once you get really clear, things show up really fast. So that's been my experience every time. Once I'm really clear, if something didn't show up yet, we're just not clear. So be okay with the process of letting it unfold. You can write about your new house. What do you want in your new house? That can help kind of get you more clarity. And it can be the same in your business. Like, what does success look like for you in your business? So that's what I'm hearing. Sit down, the same thing. What does it look like? Because success means different things to different people. And then just take one action on that. Once you see that list, what is one action I can take? It's one action at a time, one step at a time. Beyond that, you don't know. It's like going on a journey. You might know where you want to get to, but if you can't possibly know what's around the corner up the road. So you just take the step that you're on right now. Let me know if that was helpful. Okay. And Mary wants to know where I should direct my attention career-wise. It's so awesome that I'm able to see all this, because usually when I've been going live lately, I haven't been able to see the comments for some weird reason. So, all right. So, Mary, I want to know where I should direct my attention career-wise. So, part of it is, what do you want to? Where do you want to, right? Where do you want to? Because there's always choices. And let it drop down into your heart. I feel this is, again, there's a heart decision. So don't let it come from your head. If your head is going wishy-washy-wash, just move that away and let yourself drop down into your heart. And the other thing is a little trick of mine too that I do sometimes, because sometimes if we have gotten too far in our head and confused, then if we drop down, so you can take a piece of paper and you just start writing. If I tell myself the truth, and it's almost like automatic writing a little bit. You just keep writing and you see what comes through, and you're going to get the answers actually for yourself. You're going to start to understand, and just by you asking this question, it means you want to know, and you're already activating energy in that direction. So let me know if that is helpful. All right, let's see what else. All right, Joan, I want to ask why I'm with the man I'm with. He's amazing. Is it to support each other's journey, or will we be working together to build the new Gaia? All right, it's to support each other. Well, I think we're always in relationship with people to support each other's journey, and there's never like a should, or because we can work with many people. It doesn't have to be like a certain people. Yeah, there are certain people that are, or we're going to have different relationships with certain people. There's certain people, I think, in a way that we have like contracts per se, but I think as we we're getting more getting away from that a little more as we move a little more from a little bit less 3D, a little more into 5D, a little bit of the contract stuff is clearing more. But I think so, does this, what do you get out of this relationship? What are you learning from it? What joy do you get? How are you growing from this relationship? Those are the things to look at. So I'll tell you just from personal, I've been with my husband for almost 40 years. Yeah, well, for 40 years. We had a little split early on for a couple of years, and there's been ups and downs and questions and here and there, but we're still together, so we're meant to still be together right now. So it's, relationships can be a challenging thing, but they're also the best, like the fast track to personal growth, I think, and to spiritual growth. So again, there's never a should. It's just like, does this feel good? Does this feel aligned? Is this working for me somehow in some way? And then if the answer is yes, then still time to stay together. And if at some point that changes, then you have a conversation and decide from there. All right, Kyrie, I want to empty my storage and bring them back to Pennsylvania. If my brother can be trusted to help. Okay, so I'm feeling some energy around that. And the energy is feeling like part of it is around you. We believe, or what we feel, we are usually to seek evidence of, right? So if you feel like you can't really trust your brother, and that's what you really feel inside, then you're probably going to see experiences to connect to that. So I guess my question is, if you're not sure if you trust your brother, why are you asking him to help? So that's something for you to think about. Why are you asking him to help? Does that feel like the only way, or so that's something to kind of check in with yourself. Let me see if there's so that's a little, feels like a complex question connecting to your brother. There's definitely a deeper question there. It feels like you're kind of also putting expectation onto him, but also at the same time, expectation to have him help, but expectation that it might not work out so well. So it feels like that's something for you to think about. Why are you asking him, and what would you like it to look like? What would you like that experience to be like with your brother? All right, so Mandy, hi Mandy. What is the next step I should take to reach my life's purpose? Am I heading in the right direction? Yes, absolutely. And I can answer this even because of a comment that you posted today in the group. about where you're at, where you have been, and how you're taking next steps, right? You said you felt called to do Reiki 1 and 2. And so, absolutely. So there's never a good direction, but every direction, well, I look like I'm cutting out a moment, sorry. Every choice we make has different consequences, right? And there's always learning, and there's never anything wrong or bad or anything else. But the best way to know, as I said at the beginning with the Akashic records, right? We connect to the Akashic records in our heart, right? We're a society that's used to living in much, much more in the head. And now we're in the age of Aquarius, and that's the air element. And the air element is connected to the heart. So the heart is where it's at. This is where, when I open the Akashic records, I come into the heart. So trust yourself is what I'm hearing. Trust what you're being guided to do, even if you aren't sure what it's going to turn out like down the road. It's just you're called to it. It brings you joy. It stimulates your you're interested in it, right? Anything you're interested in. I've had things that I've learned or studied or whatever, and some things I'm like, I have no idea how that will relate at some point in life or whatever. And then as life is go on, it's like you're weaving a tapestry. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. You're weaving a tapestry, and your tapestry is not going to look like anyone else's tapestry. Your tapestry is based on the beautiful things that you love and that you enjoy. And that's what, like when I had my yoga studio, like people would come to my classes because it wasn't because I taught triangle pose in a different way than someone else. Well, I did, but it was my energy. It was something that was coming through me that people were getting because of the different things that I had, the things that I was interested that were in my field, and the little tids and the bits that all came to it. So it's the same with you, to just really, you are heading in the right direction, and I feel like you're really tuning into yourself. You're, like you said earlier, you've been a stay-at-home mom for a long time, and now you're exploring more your path. And even all of these years as the stay-at-home mom, there are things that you've learned along the way that are also going to be coming forward that are just part of your path and your purpose. So let me know if that helped. Okay, so Kyrie, my belongings. Yeah. All right, so I'd love to know the best direction to take in my business to attract more wealth and abundance. Okay, so that's Caitlin. All right. So I don't know if you do any group course. I'm seeing a group. It feels like it might be a group course. So I feel like something for you with creating a group course, a group something, and that group energy, you're going to build relationships with people. And those people are going to move forward with you, whether it's one-to-one coaching, whether it's more other group programs, high level or whatever, but it feels like building, so it's like a community, but it feels almost like a paid group to me, of some kind of, feels like a paid group. Let me know if that resonates for you. So, Rosemary, is my specific person likely to want to be together, or do I need to move on? Okay, more events, very playful. Peter Pan. All right, I like that, Marcus. More events, very playful, Peter Pan. So that's, perpetual child. So sorry, I'll go back to Rosemary in a minute. So Marcus, definitely go with that playfulness, right? I know you have your own business, and your business should always be a reflection of what is fun for you. So let yourself explore out, and yes, that's the eternal child archetype. So, and the eternal child archetype helps everybody to be more playful. All right, so let's go back to Rosemary. Is my specific person likely to want to be together, or do I need to move on? So it feels like you are waiting for something outside of yourself from the other person. But it feels like there needs to be some communication, but first you have to feel, what do you really want in this relationship, and are you getting it? And then if you're not getting it, be willing to have a conversation to ask for what you want. And that's kind of been a thread through this a little bit for some people, is looking at, what do I want? Letting yourself ask that, because sometimes we can be like I'm seeing a bumper pool, like where we're just kind of bouncing around, responding to other people's stuff. And that can be a pattern that happens early. I feel like I was that a lot at the beginning of my life, just because of like rough things in childhood or whatever, and then kind of looking for acceptance. So it was like, oh, here's a little crumb. Oh, thank you for that crumb. And so it feels like asking for you to really tune into, what do you want and what do you need, and then asking for it from your partner, and then having that conversation. And then if it's not, and if they're either not willing or it's not satisfying, then you making the decision to step away until you get, for something better or something else. So let me know if that made sense and resonated for your question. Laura, I'd like to ask about moving into my purpose, and wondered if my past life I was not able to fulfill that, and if it revolves around a throat chakra block. Well, yeah, creativity and connects to the throat chakra block, and I feel like you are a charismatic leader. If you're a charismatic leader, which is what I am too, there's like 5 primary life purposes. The charismatic leader, the knowledgeable achiever, the team player, the emotional intelligence specialist, and the creative idealist. And there's a high, 40% or something of people are charismatic leaders in this world, and because there's a lot of change happening, and the world needs more leaders to make change. So I'm gonna just say, and I know there's past life stuff, can potentially affect us in this life, but what I'm hearing is for you to not worry about that. Don't worry about a past life. Don't worry about anything to do with a past life. Just look at where you're at right now, with a fresh eye. So start right now. And I'm actually hearing, don't worry about, so past life is not even another life in another body. Past life is 5 minutes ago. Past life is, whatever. So don't worry about that, is what I'm hearing to say to you. So then what do you want to do, right? I feel like, yeah. So what do you want to do? Your purpose is, our purpose, the things that help us connect with our purpose is, what do we love to do? Years ago when I was stay-at-home mom and my back and neck hurt, and I got interested in yoga and spirituality, and I was like, oh yeah, I want to share this with people. And that, just so it can be as simple as knowing one little thing and then following that next path. So again, very much I'm hearing for you, don't look back unless it's oh, I liked doing that, a reminder of something that you like doing, that you still like doing, but take the next step forward is what I'm hearing. The throat chakra block, as you take steps forward, you'll start working with your throat chakra too. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. Hi, Ray. Oh, on your lunch. Thanks for jumping on and sending me some love and light. All right, keeps freezing. Sorry about that. I don't know why. I'm actually hardwired into the wall over here. I've seen it freeze a couple times. Not much I can do. You're welcome, Marcus. Okay, Chris says it makes sense. Okay, Joanna, I'd like to know what areas, modalities of healing I'm supposed to concentrate. All right, so there's no supposed to. When we ask a question, there's no shoulds and supposed to's, and of course, we do it a lot. I've shoulded on myself a lot. I'm like, don't should on yourself, but. So I will change that question for you to, hello, I'd like to know what areas and modalities would be good to concentrate on regarding my career. So what I'm seeing hands-on. I'm seeing some kind of hands-on healing for you. It feels like it could be Reiki. I'm not sure. That's just what's coming into my mind. So, but I'm feeling some hands-on healing, and I'm feeling like that would be very grounding for you. And it may expand into other things, but yeah, I'm feeling something hands-on. So you can let me know, do you do any hands-on healing, or are you interested in doing hands-on healing? And Ray, what's my next learning block I need to uncover? So, no need, but that would be fun to uncover. The next learning block to uncover on my spiritual journey. So, what I'm seeing is your artwork. I remember that picture that you showed me probably a couple of years ago, that beautiful artwork, but I'm actually seeing you like in a room with more of your creations. I don't know if you've created any more of your creations, but I'm feeling like, and it feels like for now, if you created more, that they're for you. They're like aspects or relationships for you. I'm seeing you like sitting and having like these pictures around you, kind of like that lady or goddess that you showed me, like I said, a couple of years ago. I'm seeing you like sitting and actually kind of connecting, like they're really living, there's living energy in these creations that you're making. Super powerful. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. So it's not a learning block unless you don't listen to it's not a learning block. It's like, it's a pathway. It's a pathway for communication. I feel like for you, like I'm doing Akashic records or whatever, I feel like for you, it's like you have a gift around it. There's a spiritual gift that you can unfold more with your painting and your work. All right, hi Kim. I have a question. Am I going in the right direction? Shop with my spirituality and mediumship. Only if you have time. No pressure. All right, so the right direction. So I don't know what direction you're going in, first of all, but I know you're an amazing medium. In the right direction. So what I'm hearing is, the direction you're going in, does it feel fun? Does it feel expansive? Do you feel like you're challenging yourself and growing, or are you playing it safe? Those are the questions that are coming through. So yeah, it feels like there's some possibilities for you there to take some even bigger, bolder steps. And I'm hearing that you're ready for that. So your human self might feel like, no, I'm not, but we never really feel that we're ready. We don't usually always feel like we're ready, but if we just do it anyways, when you feel the call. So yeah, it feels like feels like you're going in the right direction, but it feels like there's an even bigger step forward for you. So I don't know if you check in on yourself, if you've been feeling that, but playing it safe a little bit. Like we had July 21st was a 14-year anniversary of the Burnout Mill fire, when my studio burnt to the ground, and now it's the property, actually my new property that I bought, is closing tomorrow. But I remember just before that feeling like I was meant to do something more. I was meant to do something bigger, but I'm at. And then the fire came, and guess what? Choo! Out of the nest we go. So it feels a little bit like that. It feels like, oh, I see myself freezing, sorry. There's some really awesome things, possibilities. Big, that's what I'm hearing for you. All right, let's see what else we're doing. I feel like we're doing good. All right, same for me, Lily. We trigger one another, and it brings great learnings. I'm grateful for them sometimes. I make it mean we aren't incompatible. All right, I love that, Tracy. How that you said that. You called yourself out or just said, yep, sometimes I make it mean that we aren't compatible. Yes. So, right, relationships are learning and triggering and helping each other grow, and sometimes it doesn't look pretty, and sometimes I too have said, I think we're done. I think this is over, and then it's, then we keep going. So relationships can be sticky, messy learning grounds, and they can be amazing, powerful places to grow and for love and all kinds of things. So it's like I've been getting better at relationships in general, not just like primary relationship, but looking at when I'm feeling triggered about something or someone outside of my realm, like, well, what's going outside of me? Like, how is this about me? And when I take that sit with a little bit, I usually will be able to see, okay, let me approach this not with like running forward with a sword in my hand. How about if I just step back and think about how is this about me and what am I projecting? So usually works out a lot better too. All right, so Lily Laura's saying for me, you're welcome, Amy. Okay, Lisa, I'm moving to Tennessee and I want a farm-style house and do retreats. Can you see if that will be a reality in 2022? So, I love that. As soon as I read that, so you have some clarity there. Like I just felt this really warm feeling when I read that about a place to do the retreats. I don't know if let's see, what are we in? We're in July. It's interesting that you ask about 2022 because the first thing that comes to mind is why not in 2021? So that was the question that popped into my mind. So I guess then that answers the next one that comes. When do you want to have it? Like, when do you want it to come? And there is an unfolding that can happen of events and times and finding that right thing. But still, once you really know and make a decision. So when I wanted to sell my business in like 2016 or whatever, towards there was some things I needed clarity on, and so nothing was really happening. And then once I got super clear on it, and I knew, okay, the next person that buys my business, I want them to love this business and have the vision that I no longer had. And as soon as that happened, within a day or two, a person's name came to mind, and that's the person that bought my business. So it can happen like super fast. Now the process of buying the business took a little bit longer. So so really start to get a vision of, so it sounds like you already have the start of a good vision, and now take that vision a little bit further. Like, what do you want to have at your retreat center? What kind of, what do you want to be around it? What do you want to be like inside? The more you build like that picture of it and a vision and even feel like what it's going to be like there, the faster you'll manifest it. So again, the first thing that popped in was why 2022 instead of. So let's see, what else do we, let me know if that helped. Okay, may I have feedback on the sale of my home in Sedona in September, move to Austin. Okay, so feedback, all right. So it feels like you have a little, feels like you are carrying a little bit of uncertainty about it. That's what I'm feeling in your field as I check in around this. Are you ready to let go of your home is what the question is. And are you ready to move to Austin? Like, how do you feel about it? That's what I'm getting to ask you. Like, how do you feel about the move? Yeah, let me know how you feel about the move. That's going to help answer. I can answer a little bit more. Okay, Sharon, can you see if any blocks or contracts preventing me from communicating with my spiritual team? All right, so as soon as I read that, I was sensing like a, that you're, and I don't want to say a block. It's just like a block can be like just stuck energy that we repeat over and over that makes it harder for things that come through. It's not exactly like a block, but it can prevent things, so it can feel like a block. So I'm just sensing, I sense something here, but then also I'm feeling a little bit in the heart area. So, blocks or contracts. So I don't see any contracts per se about it. I feel like some of it is you might not be trusting the messages that are coming through or listening to the messages that are coming through, and that will make it harder for things to come through. If we're not trusting or listening, it's almost like we're doing la 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 la, I'm not hearing you, I can't hear you. So hearing just to take a step back a little bit, and I don't know if you ever like go outside and take walks in nature or just, so I'm kind of hearing for you to get away from your environment and then, go outside in nature, whatever, somewhere nice, and just ask for messages, ask for your spiritual team, tell them, show me that you're here, help me, show me the way, help me to connect, I want to start connecting with you more, and then start to build a practice. It might be going for a walk every day, it might be sitting in meditation for a few minutes, or whatever, for a little period of time or something. Start to deliberately just say, I'm going to start building a relationship with my spiritual team. And you will. It can be honestly that simple, because we are the creators, even though our human being selves can sometimes convince ourselves that we're not, or convince us of all kinds of things. But so just decide if you want to start connecting with your team, you can, and you just create some, I think, so what I'm hearing is when you do things like go outside or do things that you don't normally do, then you don't have the same like blocks or story. Sometimes when we do the same things the same way, we create the same story, right? So when we step away and do something different, it's why when you go to a retreat, or you go and work with a new healer, or you go somewhere different, or you do something different, you do a headstand or a handstand, whatever, you change your perspective, and then suddenly you're more able to see things in a new way. So let me know if that was helpful. All right, Megan, I want to know what steps I need to take next on my spiritual journey. Okay. Interesting. So I was getting an image of you like sitting and gazing, it seemed like the ocean, of you at the ocean. And it feels like there's some heart to heart. It feels like you having a heart to heart with yourself, actually. Being authentic with yourself and asking yourself, what do I really want? Like really a heart to heart. So I don't know, I'm seeing you at the ocean. That's just what I'm seeing. And you're sitting and you're just really like checking in with yourself. And I feel like you have this ability, like there's a connection that you have to the ocean, like the water, the energy of the water, the expansiveness, the abundance of it. I don't know. It's like this goddess or goddessy, mermaidy energy that's going on with you in the ocean, which I've never seen that before with somebody, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, it feels like you can connect and commune with the ocean, and if you do that, you're going to get some guidance from there. So let me know if you have a relationship with the ocean or what anything that I just said. Like, yeah, I feel like there's something there for you, and you kind of know. Your energy feels like pretty expanded as I'm sensing you there too. It's like you feel to me very powerful and very solid. But there's definitely like something for you to go forward with, but part of it is you making a decision. But if you connect with that energy of the ocean, and just really allow yourself to receive it, it's like you'll know what to do. All right, Kyrie, will I make a final trip to get my next things out? All right, so I kind of already answered your questions. And again, that is, if you decide to, you will. So, Sabrina, I need guidance on what step to take next. Yeah, Mark, thoughts on this tend to have a million messages in my head. Okay, so it's just one question per person, but your stuff might come through with someone else. So Sabrina, guidance on what step to take next. So what I'm hearing is part of it is trust, self-trust, and if you have more than one step in front of you, like sometimes we have options, like way back when I was thinking about yoga or Pilates or whatever, and I got benefits from Pilates and from yoga, and finally I just had to make a choice, because when we are creative and we tell the universe, hi, I'm open to information, we can get tons of it that comes in, right? Sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness, right, all right, I can't create, I'm not going to create all this right now. It can be overwhelming, and when we get in too much information, then we sometimes don't know what to do. So pick something. What is it that feels good? And if you're not sure right now, that's okay. Let yourself step back. So sometimes when our head is too much, so it's kind of like what actually kind of like answering Marcus's in a way a little bit too right now, right? When the universe is just giving all this information download, and it's like, okay. And sometimes when we have that ability and we're tapped in, we can feel like, oh, I'm supposed to do all this stuff, oh my goodness, like, whoa. But we're not. We can choose, and you can choose, like, what feels the most fun. So that's what it is. What feels the most fun? And go do that, and don't worry about the rest, right? Just do the next step. The next step will lead to the next step. And you only ever have to really know, you might have a big picture of what you think you want down the road, but you only ever have to know what is the step that makes the most sense right now. That's it, and take that. Don't worry beyond it. When we start getting up in our head, I know because it's happened to me a lot of times, and I see it happen to many other people, we freeze. We either don't take any action, or we take frantic action, and it can feel exhausting. So just take the step that you're on. So let yourself feel what feels good, and if you don't know yet, like, don't worry about it. You can't screw it up, okay? You can't screw it up. All right, whoops. Oh, sorry, family text that popped me out of my thing there. Okay, let's see what else. Let me know if that makes sense, Marcus. Yeah, me too. Sorry, okay. Well, I'm still here. He offered, yes, it would help. So my next, so that's awesome. If your brother helped, then I would say if you're really feeling it, then accept it. So maybe part of it is you being able to accept the help, and really, so it feels like accepting it into your heart. You're welcome, Ray. You're welcome, Kyrie. Okay, thank you. I feel like the brain is a little computer, too many options. Tend to trust my heart first. Yeah, so I do some sound healing also that helps for the pineal, but it helps connect the pineal, the heart, and the gut, because they can get offline, and there can be like programs or coding or whatever, part of our human Myra, the fog, right, that gets created when we're first born. So because it can cause like havoc with trying to figure out what to do when our brain, our heart, and our gut are not online. So, but yeah, dropping down, sometimes if you're feeling like up in the head and catching yourself, and take a breath and just imagine your mind like an elevator, just descending down, taking a few breaths into the belly, being in the moment. It's okay, right? All right, so Crystal, you're welcome, Mandy. All right, Crystal, what is my money-making gift specifically? Oh, I see Caitlin, I've got a group I'm planning to run next month. Ooh, that's great affirmation. Okay, so what is my money-making gift? All right, so that is an interesting question, Crystal. What is my money-making gift? So it's funny so I'm seeing like a crystal bowl, and it's collecting money. Like it's collecting money. So let me see what that is about. That's an interesting vision. Oh, I'm gonna shut off my phone is dinging. What is my money-making gift? So I feel like you actually have an ability to manifest money, and a little bit like what's been a little bit of the theme of some people of this conversation, that's like #human, is sometimes you get into your head and don't trust yourself. So first of all, it's going to come through when you're having fun. When you're feeling fun and having abundant and creating, it's like you have your money dish out to receive money. So what is it right now is there something in your life right now that you are just having fun doing? And don't worry if it doesn't feel like it can bring you whatever amount of money you might envision, all right? So sometimes we can get stuck on, like, if I just started teaching yoga and I'm getting $7 a student when I started, and I was like, I want to have a big business and make a lot of money, and which was not when I started teaching yoga. I had no idea I was going to grow it into a yoga and wellness center. So just follow the thing that is fun for you, right? When you're doing fun, it's like I just love this image. It's like you're having fun, and I'm almost seeing now too, it's like your hands out with your money dishes, and the money is just like coming in because you're having fun. So when you're creating and doing things from fun, that's when the money is going to start to come in and take care of itself. So let me know if that was. And Sherry, what is causing my husband's inner turmoil? Okay. So I feel like he's going through some spiritual shift, spiritual growth, spiritual transformation. It feels like there's something old from his past, but it's also creating something that's stirring up now. So usually usually when I do these readings, I usually tap into the person so I can tell you're coming from, like, caring about your husband. So just this is what's coming through. It just feels like there's something old that's being re-triggered in him, because it's healing. There's something coming up for healing with him. So I think just letting know that you are there and you support him, but the thing is not to take it personally, is what I'm hearing. So that's awesome, Caitlin. All right, Lily, I would like to know my archetype and how to use it best in your business journey. Okay, awesome, Joanna. Thank you so much. I don't do hands-on healing. I'm told to look into Reiki. Okay, awesome. You're welcome, Rosemary. All right, so Lily, I know we were talking about archetypes a little earlier in another group. So we actually have 12 primary archetypes is what I teach about. So 4 that everyone has: the saboteur, the victim, the child, and the prostitute archetype, and then 8 others. So as archetypes all together. So the thing that coming through actually is some type of feeling a creative archetype. I don't know exactly what it is. It's like something creative and artistic. Not getting specifically what it is, what the name of it is. I feel like I would need more information for like to go to that specific of an answer for you right now. But I feel like there's something creative and fun and playful. And it feels like also there's your feeling your child archetype is connected in there as well. So, yeah. So there's something creative and artistic in there. And I don't know exactly what the archetype is, but it feels like that's important for you to include in your work and whatever that you are doing. Let me know if that is helpful. Okay, Megan, feeling stuck and I can't seem to move forward at a point. Am I meant to stay still, or what is going on? Okay, so I'm going to take a few more questions and then I'm going to hop off. So, well, let's see. So, sometimes when we're stuck and we want to move forward, like sometimes we just have to like we can be really bogged down, and it just can be like a mental story because we've practiced feeling that for so long, and then it's hard to get going again, right? Or it's even like sometimes when I go away, if like I've gone away for a vacation for a couple of weeks, and then it can be hard to get going again, like something got lost the momentum. And so, but what I'm getting is sometimes when we're at a pause, I'm hearing to say at a pause, right? That you, that are you meant to stay still or what's going on? So when you're in that pause, to just let yourself listen, like tune in, like what's going on here for yourself. Like, is there an action that you know that you are, like, are you telling yourself a story that you're stuck because there's something that you're avoiding doing? That's what I'm hearing. So is there something that you are avoiding doing? So I'm feeling like there's something that you might be not looking at or avoiding, and so this feeling of stuckness is what has gotten created from that. But if you look at, so take a look at that. Is there something that you're avoiding doing? Something, maybe a situation or something just needs to be looked at or addressed. I feel like that's going to help you. Taking that action will help you move forward. Let me know if that resonates, because that's what just came through. Oh, you're welcome, Kim. I love it. Thanks. I've been playing it safe, but recently decided to do bigger venues. Thanks for the affirmation. Yay, you're welcome. Thank you for the affirmation. Lisa, you're welcome. Yay. All right, Sabrina, let's see where we're at. Whew, we got a lot here. All right, so, all right, Shirley is going to be the last question I am going to do. So I'm just going to type that in. Shirley is last question. Whoops, whatever. Okay. And I'm also going to put in the link for anybody, because I know people may have to jump off. I'm going to put the link in the post if anyone wants to do a one-to-one. I'm going to pin that if I can. Oh, there we go. I'm going to pin it. Remove preview and pin. Okay. So, all right, where am I at? Okay, Sabrina, have I outgrown my current corporate job, or does it still offer the chance for further growth? So I feel like there's I'm feeling almost like if you're straddling like two things, and the gap, like a gap, like you were walking and the gap is getting wider. So it's kind of like you gotta like leap to one side or the other. But it feels like there's still a little bit more in corporate, but it feels like you're kind of on your way out is what I'm feeling. Like that thing of like one foot's in one side and one's in the other. I mean, you can only go so far and you're gonna go splat. Let me know if that resonated. That was quite a pretty clear description. All right. Oh, hi, Mary Pat. Okay, I'm glad you're here too. Okay, Kate, I'm very rooted in Sedona from the spiritual work I've enjoyed for others and Guy in my own healing. On a more personal note, I feel the desire and appropriate steps to live near my son. I feel complete here and work on the healing of energies of the Gulf Coast, just feeling the need to more completely release my current home. Yeah, so it did feel like a little bit of a conflict, so it's hard because you've enjoyed where you are and you want to be near your son. So you can go back, you can have the best of both in a way. Like if you're going and you know that you really want to be near your son, then that's the thing to focus on, and know that you can find a new community. Feels like there's something new potential for you in this new place. And you have this relationship with where you were before, so you can go back there. Maybe you do things back there. Maybe you have events or go to events or whatever it is. So no choice is ever permanent. So that's what I'm hearing to say. Good for everybody. Hi, Ramandeep. You're welcome, Megan. Okay, Ramandeep, I'm at the brink of quitting my CPA designation and exam. Any guidance on that? All right, so definitely feeling the resistance there around that. Resistance. So what I'm hearing is to be really clear, if you decide that you want to, that it's not just out of frustration, that you're deciding because it's not aligned for you, or if it is aligned for you, that you're just going to work through and do it. Yeah. So if you decide you're going to quit, it's because you are deciding and making a decision, not for any other reason. So just let it be that. And if you feel like you're just at a little bump of frustration, then let it be that. Sometimes we can get frustrated, right? I can have been growing a business and I said had a relationship for years. Sometimes it's like, forget it. You just want to like send it flying out the window. You're done. You're like, I'm done. Don't want this. Don't want to deal with it anymore. Blah blah. Sometimes you just gotta let yourself have that's like your child archetype, right? Your child archetype in the shadow, or it can be something else, but let yourself really feel it, and then picture yourself. So here's a good one for you. Picture yourself on one side, like, bang, and notice how you feel about that. Feeling it's done, you completed it. Now look at the other side. I quit. I step back. I decided it's not for me. And just notice which one how you feel with each one. And that should give you an answer. Let me know if that resonates. Mary Pat, I've been wanting to move out fast. What's the best step for me to take to expand into this move? Okay, so as you're thinking about it, I'm wondering if you've been out west, and so it's pretty broad, it's pretty specific. But the thing that's coming through, the first steps or whatever, is to go and like, what area calls to you? Is it an area that calls to you? And go and visit it, go explore, like go and play. That's what I'm hearing, for you to go and play in some areas to get a vibe of where you might want to go. That's going to help you create that bigger vision, or that vision to help you take the steps to bring it more into reality. Let me know if that resonates for you. Okay. It's overwhelming. Okay. You're welcome, Sabrina. Okay, yes, sound healing. Me too, Mary Pat. It's funny because I never thought I was a singer for the first 51 years of my life, and now I do sound healing. Huh. All right. So, LOL, reading a ball, I answered yes. Crystal ball. Sherry, yes, his father passed early. Oh, yes, yep. So that makes a lot of sense. When someone passes, especially like that, it's going to bring up some stuff. Lillian, what is my challenge to meet my romantic partner? All right, so then after that is Shirley, and then that's done. Okay. What is my challenge to meet my romantic partner? All right. So I'm just getting this vision of you letting yourself come into your heart, and I'm picturing you like just imagining like what it would feel like to be with your romantic partner, to like to be dancing with them, to be enjoying life with them, to be having fun with them. What would your ideal romantic partner want to do with you? And then I'm hearing this, to go and start doing some of those things for yourself. So if you want to like go for a walk on the beach, or do a nice dinner, or go to a movie, I don't know, I mean, just these are things that are just popping into my mind. For you to do some of these things for yourself first, like your own self, but also have that image, that feeling of like what it would feel like to have that partner that you really want. And if you had any old stuff that was like felt like stuck or whatever, to just let that go as much as you can. Don't focus on it. Just let it go out the window. Don't worry about it. Not important. Thank you for all you showed me. And I kind of like what's coming through a lot in this conversation that we're having today, because what I'm really hearing is we can choose and decide to let go of our past stories. We can just decide like, oh, that's not even true. That's just some stuff I was creating myself from my own beliefs or stories, right? Because how many times does that happen? I'm sure every person on this call has known at least once or many times when we've had a new perception change and we realized something we were thinking or believing or whatever was total bullshit, especially about ourselves, right? Or even about other people. So yeah, let me know if that helps, Lillian. And then Shirley, I was wondering why I've been on this live and you bypass me because it's always happening to me. Interesting. I did not see your question anywhere up here. Nope. Yep, I don't see your question anywhere up there, so I didn't see anywhere, so I don't know what happened. So that's very interesting. But it's the Shirley, thank you so much. Kay, thank you. All right, I've been on this live and you bypassed me. So okay, so that is, I was talking before, I don't know if you were on, I'm guessing you might have been if you've been on for a while. It's a belief that like when we have a feeling that we've had enough times, we start to look for evidence of more of the same. We build a belief around it, and it's maybe someone told us that, maybe a parent told you something or whatever, but we do, and then it's just natural. Like so a few years ago, I got invited to an event and I was so excited, and I told my husband, and he didn't seem happy for me. I was like, oh, I'm so excited, and my husband he's not supporting me, he doesn't seem to care. And at the same time, I was also learning about rewriting my story and changing my perspective. So I said, all right, I'm going to play with this. So I sat down and wrote, my husband supports me, and I wrote a whole story about it. And lo and behold, I started noticing how my husband supported me. He helped, he bought a hotel so we could stay in Boston the night before so I could sleep an extra hour in. He got me an upgraded seat so I had extra leg room. He took care of things at home. So as I created the new story, I started to see something new. So for you, and for everybody else that's on here, it feels like this would be super helpful to look and think about, like, what's the story that I'm seeing that I don't like? What's the belief? Because it's our beliefs that create our reality. What's the belief that I have that's, is it really true? Because honestly, we can usually find evidence of the opposite. We just tend to notice the thing that we're noticing. So if you instead go back and look at, oh, well, you know what, it's really not true. Like, I didn't just bypass you now. I didn't see a single comment from you when I look back over the whole thing. So it's interesting because you were the last person I said, I am, oh, looks like a conversation. So start to build a new story. Like, what's the new story that you want to have instead? Oh, that my needs are met, that I occurred. So, okay, so, all right, I would love to know if my house will sell soon and if I will find a nice house closer to my grandchildren. Okay, so that's the question. I feel like a little part of you is holding on to your house for some reason. And when part of us is still holding on, then it's harder for it to sell. So that's what I'm hearing. So what is it that you're holding on to in your house? So that's something for you to notice and pay attention to. And then you can look at and you can shift it. So, you can have unconscious, whatever reason. Maybe you have a lot of memories in your house now, or maybe there's something else, or maybe you're afraid of the next move, even though you want to move closer to your grandchildren. Oop, sorry, looks like I froze again. All right. So the other part is also, do you have a clear image of what might be possible in the new house? Like, what do you envision? So there's two pieces here. To start to really think about, what do you want? What are going to be all the benefits to move closer to your grandchildren? It's like, it feels like it's a huge opportunity for you too, to like rethink and when we move, we can kind of re-envision ourselves, re-envision our lives. What are the things you love right now about where you're at? And so those things you might want to bring with you, maybe, in those conveniences or whatever. And what are the things that you would like different instead? So those two pieces, looking at what are the things, what's your concern? Because sometimes a concern might be, then if we really aren't ready, we might not, we might not, the person might make an offer and we're like, oh, it's not enough or whatever. But when you're really ready, and you decide, stuff happens. The earth moves, that's it, things happen. When we deciding is a powerful thing. So look at what you want in your new place, and then look at what you might still be a little bit ambivalent about leaving in the place that you are at now. So, anyway, I'm afraid if I find a nice house, yes. So, it's possible for you, Shirley. Let it be possible. So there's these two things, and just envision this new house. And you don't even have to know everything about it. Just really feel into it. Feel yourself moving to the new house. See it. Spending time with your grandchildren, them loving on you. And then at your old house, like, maybe walk around and give your house thank you. Thank you for all these things you've done for me. Thank you. Because sometimes that's part of it too, like sending gratitude for what you have. All right. So it's been super fun. Some of you guys just let it absorb. I feel like so much information came through. Let it absorb, sit with it. There's going to be some of you that want to go deeper with this and do a more in-depth one-on-one. So for the next 48 hours, whatever, till Saturday night, I put a link there for 67% off. I don't even usually do one-off sessions too much. I usually have my one-on-one clients, but I'm just feeling like I wanted to offer that right now. So usually it's $333. Usually you can't work with me for, even that price at all. So I dropped the link below. Something that's resonating with you, then go for it. I'd love to connect more. Whatever time it is in your world, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for you're so welcome. You're welcome, Lillian. Yay. All right.